Hey there folks, and welcome back for another shaving video. And today we're going to use Cold River Soap Works. This one is Citron. A lot of people have been asking about this soap. First of all, let me say the packaging on this I really like. It's now in plastic. It's just classy. It's clean, classy, and that's what you're always going to get from Cold River Soap Works. Really a classy brand in terms of the soap and its presentation. The only drawback of this soap for me has always been price. This is $4.75 an ounce. Ideally, I'd like to see that, down around the $4 level, or maybe add an ounce of soap to make that more cost effective for people. It is expensive at $4.75. It's a great soap. It's one I will pay that for, but for a lot of people, that's just too doggone expensive. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's an expensive soap. It is very nice, though. It is very nice. You're getting a great soap. So you have to determine whether it's too expensive for you or not. The scent on this Citron is sort of a spicy citrus scent, more like a lemon peel with some pepper. For those of you looking for a typical citrus scent like that, orange and lemon, it's not that. It's more of a lemon peel and pepper. So if you're looking for a really bright citrus, this is not that. And by the way, I got the window open there just to let a little air in, and I'm hearing the dogs in the background, so I hope they don't get too riled up. Oh, let's talk a little bit about the razor we're going to use today, which is Merkur 34. I don't think I've ever used this on video. I have used this before. I had a Merkur like this when I first started that I got rid of. So I got another one recently just to show you guys that, again, these razors aren't just for beginners. They're great razors for shavers of any level of experience. The blade is going to be feather. And this is a two-piece razor. We'll drop the blade in there, and it just goes in like so. This razor has some nice heft to it, but it's very balanced. This is a favorite of Busta. And I'm going to also use, let me set that aside, the Omega boar today. So once again, tempting fate. We may have trouble because, I'm on a steady diet of synthetic, excuse me, black wolf. And there is our Busta taunt of the day. Anyway, back to business. We'll see how this goes with the boar. This is the Omega 81064. We will get a nice heavy load, and there is the soap on this. What I will say about it, even the way the soap is put in the container is quite classy. Expensive, but classy. That's sort of the way I would characterize Cold River Soap Works. It is not, in the budget tier by any stretch, but it's quite good, and if you can afford it, try it and see what you think. And you may find that, hey, I don't mind spending $4.75 an ounce. And if that is you, then I think you'll have a fantastic soap to work with. And it looks like we've got a good load here. This is a tallow-based soap, by the way. Very, very nice. Scent strength about a 6, maybe 7. Nice and peppery. Like I said, lemon peel, pepper. That's sort of what I get. I'm going to set that aside. We will wet the face and get going. All right, so let's see how we do with our Omega board. This is, actually, it's fairly soft right now already, which is surprising. Usually they take some time to break in, but this guy feels pretty good right out of the gate. There's not a tremendous amount of backbone. And I gotta tell you, I'm not displeased with the lather from this board today. And Cold River Soap Works, the quality is... there's no question about quality. It is just a great soap, period. Really not much debate about that. And I've made lather quite easily with the boar today, so I'm going to probably throw my shoulder out, patting myself on the back here. I'll tear a rotator cuff. So, let's get going. Very nice lather. Again, scent strength, very nice on this soap. And I know the type of slickness, cushion, and glide I'm going to get. It's going to be excellent. That is Cold River for you. And we will Give our Merkur 34. And that feels really nice. Wonderful residual slickness, as expected. The razor and feather blade getting along very nicely. Very, very nice. Soap, very nice. Everything's actually feeling great. And this is outstanding. The reason I've started incorporating some boars is I want folks to understand the tremendous value of the boar. These can be had for, you know, some of the best boars you can get in terms of performance are under 20 bucks. And I think it's a great value. And it's right there with your, you know, Razor Rock Plus Offs and all the other people like Sterling who are selling those inexpensive synthetic knots. Absolutely fantastic. The boars are an excellent value. Stand by, we'll come back for pass 2. And I want to take a moment between passes here to announce a little giveaway. I'm going to be giving away this Stubble Bubble Summer Passion, which I used last week. I like the soap. I think it's a good quality. The scent just was a little too sweet for me. So if you're interested, shoot me an email to tsevangelist@live.com. And this will be up for giveaway. We'll announce it next Sunday. Let me set this aside. All right, and so for our announcement of the other giveaways, I will break that out into a separate short video. That way I don't have to run out and look at the names here in my randomizer. And see, what you have here, folks, is a sort of a problem you can experience with a boar. It tends to eat lather. So you're seeing my second pass here, even though I loaded heavy, is nowhere near what my first pass was. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the puck. This is not a crime. If you need to go back to the puck, go back to the puck. And I'll load a little more, and then we'll have a nice lather once again. Sometimes these brushes, the lather gets up in the brush, and sometimes it just the lather just seems to disappear. And as you can see with the reload, we're right back on track, and you know, we can get it going. The other thing you'll notice here, and there's a hair, you see it right there. One of the drawbacks of natural hair, although you can have a synthetic that sheds, but they quit shedding if they shed at all. Quickly, there's usually a loose hair or two, if any. Most of the time not, but if they are going to shed, it's initially, and then they don't shed ever again if it's a proper synthetic knot. So you've seen what can happen with boars. You have to sometimes revisit the puck. Natural hair in general. Synthetics, for whatever reason, don't have this problem usually. If you load once, you usually have enough lather to last your entire shave. Right now, this looks great, you know, for the next pass. But by the time I get back to it, for whatever reason, it probably won't have enough lather. We'll see. We'll leave it as is and see. And, you know, again, no crime to revisit your puck. Most of us have plenty of soap. You know, don't worry about it. I did see a fellow in Razor and Brush who was talking about he decided to go with synthetics because he was tired of the lather eating. And that's okay. If you just don't like it, you know, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But they are wonderful value, and probably worth your consideration. Now, boar, I'm cutting against the grain here, not on my neck, but by saying that I don't recommend boar unless you can find an affordable one. The markup on boar is just, it's too much. It's ridiculous, in fact. Having talked to some people in the business about these knots and where they come from, and people think that this knot is dramatically different from the next, and it turns out some of them come from exactly the same place. I don't mean region of Asia, but I mean from the same manufacturer in some cases, and they charge premium prices. Some brands are virtually the same, just different brand on them. So I don't go down that road with new folks. It's just not my recommendation. However, they are excellent brushes. If you like them, please, by all means, stay with them. Let's come back for pass 3. All right, so let's see if we have enough lather for pass 3 in this brush. Maybe if we push some up. See, some of that was down in the knot, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. Probably not. It's not looking good. So, you know, this is what happens with natural hair, and if you're out of practice. Now, when you are accustomed to using it, you'll adjust your technique and it just works, but me being rusty, you know, this can happen. So we'll just load a little more, just pull a little bit of this out of here, and we wet the brush and it'll be just fine. But this is, I don't actually know what occurs there, you know, in scientific terms, but the lather definitely goes away. It eats it, as they say, and it doesn't happen with synthetic brushes. So I don't know why the lather tends to stay in synthetic knots and not these natural hair. But I do know that once you're on a steady diet of using natural hair, problem seems to go away. Whether it's your technique or the brush just quits eating, I don't know where it goes, folks. I really don't. I'm sure there are people who can tell me who uses natural hair. And keep in mind, I used to use natural hair when I first started for, I don't know, a couple years. And I didn't really have a problem with it. But now that I use synthetics, it is dramatically different. Okay, we got enough lather going there. We're pass 3. Anyway, you know, my goal here is not to ding on Badger, but to talk about the best value I could possibly. And look at those hairs. Yeah, very aggravating, folks. I'm not going to lie. But excellent value. So you got to sort of weigh that. And this would be the case whether it's Badger or boar. Badger shed in the same way. The only brush that doesn't shed hardly at all are synthetic. And some Badger knots, you get a great one and they don't shed whatsoever. Sometimes they do. It's kind of hit or miss. But they are known to shed early on. Anyway, I look at my charge here is to, as often as I can, bring you things that are great value and save you money in terms of, look, if you're watching this video, you're probably going to buy a lot of soaps and razors, so you're not going to save money there. But I do want you to get, you know, good value for the money that you spend. So regardless of the lather eating and the shedding and all the things that are associated with natural hair, the funk, and you know about the funk, if you've gotten a natural hair brush. Boar is excellent in value. It produced a wonderful shave, even though I had to revisit the puck. That's okay. Do it if you need to. All right, let's rinse the face. We'll come back for the pose. Stay tuned. All right, and then comes the Magic Maybo, which is Thayer's. Great stuff, as you know. Love it. And let's, before we get to the review of equipment, I just want to welcome again those folks who joined Razor and Brush and point out that yesterday was a particularly spirited day in terms of debate. So don't be scared off. Continue to join us. Lurk if you lurk. Believe me, there's a lot of fun to be had. All right, to the equipment review. Merkur 34 HD. It's, you know, heavy, not super heavy, balanced in my view. It's as good as a razor as any razor for people of any level of experience. Now, it's not a Wolfman in quality, but in terms of the shave, it's a great razor. There's absolutely no reason to avoid this, or if you started with this and it's still working great, stick with it. It's a great razor. Feather was the blade, of course, on that. Our brush was a Mega 81064. It did eat lather, but that's okay. We will eventually get this guy broken in and we'll become more proficient with lathering with natural hair, and that will not be an issue, so no worries on that front. Oh, I almost forgot the soap, and that's important, but I'll have to, well, we'll just show you this. Cold River Soap Works. Citron. Look, on this channel, I can never tell you that a soap that's $4.75 an ounce is worth it for you. You have to make that decision. Now, there's a lot of soaps that are $2 and something an ounce and $3 and something an ounce that I can pretty confidently say this is worth the money. But when it gets over that $4 mark, that's a point where people begin to think about that purchase. And so I can't tell you whether this is worth it for you. What I can tell you is it's an excellent quality soap. My face feels great. It performed beautifully, apart from my lathering woes. It's a great soap. The scent is not going to be for folks who are expecting, you know, lemon, orange, that bright citrus. This is peppery, spicy citrus, so keep that in mind. With that, we're going to get to our aftershave today, which is Soap Smooth. This is Hedonism from the shaving shop, which is a nice spicy scent. And Soap Smooth makes some pretty doggone good aftershaves, and we're going to use it today and enjoy it. And again, don't forget the giveaway I announced. So shoot me an email if you want to be considered for that stubble trouble. I may have called it stubble bubble, so if I did, apologies. Good stuff. It's just, you know, the scent really not for me. It's not a miss because I liked it. I just didn't love it. So I don't put that in the miss category. All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Really appreciate the time you spend with me, and I hope to be giving you something back for your time, some information you might not otherwise have. Until next time, let's make America shave again.